Marcus Domask has some of the best footwork in the country. This 6'6" all-conference guard transferred in from SIU to Illinois not only had a great season personally, but is also a PGC grad. In this video, we're going to break down the footwork he uses that makes him so hard to guard at the college level. Marcus uses patience, poise, and really good footwork to get where he wants to on the floor. One of my favorite finishes in his bag is what's called the slice finish, and it looks like this. The slice finish is used when a guard is trying to avoid or slice around the rotating defender. So in this example, Domask is dribbling with the ball in his left hand. The rotating defender is coming from the weak side, and he puts his feet on the ground. It's back foot or left foot, then right foot. And with the weight on that right foot, he's able to slice around this player to get to the right side of the rim. Here's another good example of a slice finish from Domask. And notice he does it from the top of the key. Another good place to do this finish from is when you're attacking downhill to avoid a potential charge. Again, as a basketball player, once you get inside the paint below the elbows and the blocks, it's all about footwork. And again, watch the deliberate steps here by Marcus on this footwork. It's back foot first, and then all of his weight transfers to his front foot. And with the weight on that right foot, he's able to glide or slice away from the charge taker and finish on the right side. He also uses his patience and his length to get into a stretch finish, which is used when the defender's on your back, like in this situation right here. The other thing that he does really well is he uses a great hostage dribble because the big here, as you notice, is in a drop. His on-ball defender is going to go over. And again, a hostage dribble looks like this. As McGee sets the screen, Braun keeps his defender on his back or in jail with a hostage dribble. This allows JaVale to seal the big, creating a lane for him to go finish. It's a good tool to have as a guard. When you make that guard defender go over, you keep them behind you, you wait for a lane, and then you attack that lane. So as Domask does the same thing here, keeping his on-ball defender behind him in jail, this is a great time to use that stretch finish. The defender is behind you or out of the play. You jump off 2 feet, you have your shoulders facing the sideline so that you can stretch away from the shot blocker, and you get your hand under the ball so that you can get it off the glass. Here's a good example of the posture of a stretch finish done here in transition. Some people call it a stretch finish, some people call it a twist finish. Whatever it is, it's a good finish to have when you've beaten your primary defender, you have a little bit of an advantage, and you want to keep them out of the play. Domask also has incredible step-throughs. These are moves that coaches absolutely love and players don't work on quite enough. Great finishers are always turning down good shots for great shots, meaning instead of taking this bump floater that's a little bit off balance, you can just step through and seal that defender off, creating a better angle. By getting into these step-throughs after spin moves or initial drives, it just catches defenders off balance and then just creates better options. He's gotten so good at these step throughs that he'll do them at times as a step through into a one-handed runner. He's a really good shooter in the paint, so he'll use it as a step through into a fade. It's beneficial to have a multitude of finishes or shots you can get to out of this alignment or footwork to keep the defense guessing. There are a couple of plays here side by side that I want to break down where Domask uses his footwork in 2 different situations, but the footwork is similar. So in this first play, he's ISO'd one-on-one on the left side of the floor, uses a little hesitation, and then gets to the middle of the paint where the defender does a good job of staying in front. So because he's chest to chest with that defender, he has no advantage. He doesn't go through him. He just rips and steps through. And by stepping through, he now has a 1-step advantage and the defender on the side of his body. Now, almost an identical situation against UConn. ISO'd on the left side of the floor. Now he just gives an in-out, gets to the middle of the paint. And again, this defender is putting all the weight on Domask, and it doesn't look like he's able to step to the left because the defender's taking away the left side. So instead of forcing something and getting a charge, he has multiple outcomes to the same problem on the same area. That's what great players do. Great players just have more outcomes. And so now, because he's such a good shooter, he creates a little bit of space, gets into that bump fade. The good thing about playing off 2 feet are there are a bunch of different finishes you can use depending on where the defender is in space. So like Domask also has great side of the body finishes, or what we call a power finish. So here the defender's on the side of his body. He just does a great job of creating contact. The final tool that Domask has in his tool belt for footwork is his Barkley, something that Villanova made popular a couple years ago, but it's when your guard is able to post up and creates advantages near the rim. With his size and his frame and shooting ability, it's great to be able to post because now you can look over smaller guards, but then he also uses this to get into some fades. So once the contact occurs, he uses that to create a little bit of room. Because Domask has such good footwork, he's able to use the post up to create advantages for himself. It reminds me a lot of Anthony Edwards. And what I mean by it reminds me of Anthony Edwards is Domask is bigger at this level than people that are guarding him. So he uses his strength on the Barkley to get into the paint. And then like Ant also likes to shoot these paint pull-ups. So Domask uses footwork and then gets into a control fade. Barkley's so useful because there's times in games where you have a mismatch, and if you can control and slowly get into the painted area by backing down your defender, you're also able to draw more contact and get more and ones. It also allows you to control the tempo the defense is at your mercy, and you can go when you want to, you can change directions, and you can pivot when you feel like it. So with his footwork on finishes, his ability to step through and pivot to create angles, and his Barkleys to get into layups and fades, this is what gives Marcus Domask the title of having some of the best footwork in the country.